good, as I say, for restoring energy in your back. That's it, 3 more. Inhale. You can have your eyes open or closed, it's entirely up to you, yogis. Feeling your way very, very gently in your spine, into your spine. So taking those long, slow, even breaths to move the energy downwards. Let's do this one more together. Last round. And again, just taking a moment to mindfully sit back, perhaps shaking out the wrists as they've taken a lot of loading. Makes it little rotations in the wrists if you can in both directions, and untie the knots there. Okay, now we're going to just do a little stretch into left and right. So if your knees are bad, by all means, grab a blanket and just pad up underneath your left knee if you need to, as you take your right leg forwards and out to the side. So it's my right leg that I take out to the side, pad up underneath the left knee if you need to, and just anchor down the sides of the right foot. So both the outer edges of the right foot feel as if they're planted and grounded into the floor, and spread the toes wide of that right foot. And we come up into what's known as a gate pose. We're going to stretch here. So I'm going to take my left hand and make a tripod, resting it by my left knee, and raise the right arm skywards. Then I'm going to pin that right elbow towards the right ear and look up towards the ceiling if you can. Keep anchoring the sides of the right foot down. 4 breaths, yogis. Great stretch for our side body again. This helps to restore energy. Take some long, deep breaths in and out if you can. Good. One more full breath in. And exhale to come back up. Well done. Carefully bring that knee in and we'll switch sides. It's better if you can do this with bare feet, but socks are fine as long as the surface you're on, remember, is non-slip. So again, just take a moment to anchor down the sides of the left foot. So outer edges anchored down, opening the toes. And again, pad up underneath that right knee if you need to. Well, again, yogis, it's about just gently taking the fingertips of the right hand to the floor, slightly away from the right knee, like me. Inhale as you lengthen that left arm up, and exhale as you bring it across. You can look forwards or gently looking up towards the ceiling. Keep lengthening through the side body. 4 breaths, breathing in. Breathing out, and again, press the outer edges of the left foot into the mat to anchor that left foot down. And just notice in your own bodies as you take those long, slow, even breaths. Does my right side feel different physically to the left? Very often it may do. 1 more full breath here. Again, not straining, breathing deeply into this side stretch. And release on the exhale. Come up nice and slowly and relax. Well, nicely done, yogis. And again, stop, get some water. Take this carefully. Again, just doing as much or as little of the practice as you want to. Not dissimilar now. We go back to the right leg. So let's take that out again. We're kneeling on the left knee. Spread the toes of the right foot. Take your time. And the outer edges of the right foot planted into the floor. This time, my right hand slides down the outside of my right thigh towards my calf muscle, and I'm going to raise the left arm up and come over sideways towards the right, not particularly far, developing again the sense of a deep stretch here in my left side ribs. And remind your body it's coming sideways. Enjoy 5 breaths now. Let's take a little longer. We've stretched a little more here. So between 5 or 3 breaths, between 3 and 5 breaths, if you can. And every now and then, just seeing if you can come a little further, but again, take great care. This is a deep stretch. So if you've got a delicate back, don't overbend too far. Deep breath in, deep breath out, as we aim to restore the energy and vigor as we move forwards in our practice. This is restoring energy, yogis. That's it. One more deep breath in. Exhale to release carefully and relax. We're going to do the other side now. Hopefully you're feeling a little warmer. So left leg goes out. Purposefully again, open the toes. And again, think about just anchoring down the sides of the foot, the sides. And do pad up underneath the right knee if you need to. Left hand rests on the left outside left calf. And we lengthen up through the right arm firstly. And exhale as we come over. And again, making sure you don't overstretch. Really breathing here, mindfully. Take the awareness to those side ribs. And gently take 4 breaths into them if you can. Or less if you need to. And again, just notice if your own body, does left and right feel physically different? Breathing in. Breathing out. That's it. Nice deep breaths here, yogis. Taking your time. That's it. No rush. One more full breath. And again, that's taking your time with that breath. Please don't rush. When you're ready to exhale, do so carefully. Arm comes down, back onto the knees. And that's why it's always useful to pad up underneath the knees if you know that it's quite strong for you. Put some extra padding under the knees. Well done, yogis. Well, grab some water if you need to. We're halfway through our practice. And now with all that lovely stretch in the side, it's going to be really interesting to go into downward dog, which many people tend to think just stretches the back of our body. But equally, the sides are really stretched in downward dog as well. So it's a beautiful way to open up the whole body now. And again, how long you stay in your inverted downward dog is up to you. I'm going to stay for 5 deep breaths, but do please stay for less. Come down and rest when you need to. So here we go. Now let's come back onto our hands and knees. We're going to tuck our toes under. And we're going to use the exhalation to lift our hips up towards the sky, okay? We're going to try to evenly distribute the weight between our hands and feet, okay? So I want you to just have that mindful intention of distributing the weight evenly through your hands and your feet today. And we're going to press our arms forward as we pull our thigh bones back. Let's go. So we're going to breathe in, lift our hips towards the sky. Keep our knees, our feet hip width apart, arms are strong. And then doesn't matter if our heels are nowhere near the ground. Perhaps we've got bent knees today, that's fine. Because we're going to pad one heel back and down as we breathe in. We're going to pad the other heel back and down as we breathe out. So we're walking our dog. And very gently relaxing the head and neck, inhaling. Exhaling, opposite heel comes down. Just easing into this. Our arms are strong. Taking our time gently, that's it. Gazing up towards our knees or thighs as our point of focus. Now I'm going to take 3 more breaths here, but come down and rest if you need to. Otherwise, continue if you can with me for 1 more breath. That's it. And 2. And finally, 1 more deep breath in and out. Lovely. Okay, from there, yogis, just come back down onto your hands and knees. Let's sit back for a moment again. Shake it out. The wrists again, very loaded in that last posture. And maybe untie the knots, a few little rotations, just to release any tension in the wrist joints. Let's bring our hands together if we wish to here. It's just a moment of clarity, a moment to focus back on our breathing. And join me in just taking several deep breaths here with a tall spine. Eyes can be open or closed, of course. And just a moment to pause and breathe. Focusing gently on the inhalation and the exhalation as it leaves the body. And just take a moment to observe how you feel physically, having reached that halfway point through the practice. A simple moment just to focus on breath and to observe any physical sensations or thoughts as we reach that midway point throughout the practice, halfway point. Now when you're ready, take a deep breath in with me. And as you exhale, the eyes were closed, opening them now, and just that little pause, releasing the hands. We're going to go back into downward dog, but before we do that, we're going to just check in with our hips. So, we're going to make sure we've got a cushion or pillow to hand, yogis. And this is known as the one-legged king pigeon pose, but it's a variation of that. We're going to bring the left leg forwards and just lower the hips as we extend the right leg behind us. Now what we may need is to rest a pillow underneath our right hip, maybe even 2 pillows, as many as you need, because we're going to rest our torso over the left leg. That's it, trying to keep our hips level and perhaps a block underneath our head, so grab that if you need to. Resting here. And you can take, if you wish to, arms forwards. They can be bent at the elbows if more comfortable. Or if you want a deeper stretch going back into the spine again, and the arms, we take the arms forwards. Rest the forehead. And you see I tucked the toes of my right foot under, aiming to keep my hips level. And just take 3 deep breaths here as we just stretch into our hips. Nice, deep, even breath, yogis. Elbows can be bent, or arms can be straight, whichever feels more comfortable for you this afternoon. 1 or 2 more deep breaths here, yogis, in your own time. Now just start to very gently walk your hands back towards your knee. Come up nice and slowly, press the hands into the floor, raise the chest and roll the shoulders back a little. Just get that little lift and curve in the spine as you come into that proud pigeon pose. Deep breath in, come up on the fingertips if you can, that just gives you a little more height. And see that you're making this lovely arch in the spine, but that is strong, so just another breath here. Deep breath out, and then carefully I want you to remove your cushion, perhaps your block, and just carefully come back onto all fours so that we can switch sides. So now I'm going to slide my right leg forwards, slide my left leg back, tuck the toe under the left leg, left foot rather, and grab my cushion to place underneath my left hip. And again, use as many cushions or pillows underneath that left hip as you need today. Block for the head. And let's sink down, keeping the torso, it's now folding over the right leg and trying to keep the hips as level as you can. And that's tricky, I know, but have that intention, yogis, to keep those hips nice and level if you can. And we come down, stretch the arms if you can, or bend the elbows, whichever again is more comfortable, folding over your right thigh, and take between 3 and 4 deep breaths here, yogis, if you can. Then slowly, when you're ready, walking the hands back in line with the knee. Raise the head and see if you can come up onto the fingertips. They're in alignment like mine with the knee. Looking forwards, rolling the shoulders back. Get that little lift as you look forwards, softening into that proud pigeon pose. Breathing in, breathing out. That's it. Relax the jaw. One more full breath here, only if comfortable. Breathing in if you can. Soften the shoulders, deep exhalation. And then very carefully coming back onto all fours. And we're going to come back into our downward dog. So just removing everything now. So from that pigeon pose, I want you to tuck your toes under and step back into downward dog. And we're going to take some long, deep breaths here, yogis. Ideally focusing on the exhalation as we lengthen our spine. And let's hold for between 3 and 5 breaths, if you can. Obviously, come down before then if you need to. Here we go. Lifting up, feet and knees again, hip width apart. Arms are strong, spreading the weight across the hands. Perhaps you would prefer to continue walking the dog, and that's absolutely fine, yogis, if that's comfortable. Otherwise, we're going to take a long, slow, deep breaths with the intention, mindfully lengthening the spine. 3 deep breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling, let the head hang if you can. Gaze towards your upper thighs. That's it. And 1 or 2 more deep breaths here if you can, yogis. Excellent. Okay. Now from here, down we come, back onto all fours carefully, and sitting back again. Shaking out. Remember, your wrists are hugely loaded in these poses, so just releasing and relaxing them for a moment is really quite a good thing to do. Okay. So we're now going to go into a lunge, and a lunge is wonderful because it works the front of the thigh, it works the hip, and we get a little opening and lift in the chest as well with this one. So do pad up underneath the left knee if you need to. So my right foot, I step forwards, making sure I have enough padding underneath the left knee. And I very gently want to make sure that this right knee is in alignment with the right ankle. Because if I load too much weight there, you can see I put the knee under a lot of pressure there. So keep that knee in alignment with the ankle as best you can. And let's just drop the arms for a moment. Let's roll the shoulders back. Relax here. When you're ready, focusing ahead, we're going to inhale and raise the arms. Bring the palms together or have them facing if you can. And look up and gently back. Again, take care with your spine. Palms touching or facing. Looking towards the ceiling, but if that's too strong, then just look forwards if that's easier. 3 deep breaths here. Lifting up and gently back. And feeling the stretch in the side body, the spine, and the front thigh. Deep, even breath, yogis. We're going to take another deep breath in. Carefully exhale as you release, and we'll switch sides. So again, take time. There's lots of time here to keep the left knee in alignment with the left ankle. We're going to look forwards and relax and roll the shoulders back. Let the arms feel like heavy weights by your side. Let's get ourselves a moment to feel the effects of what we're doing and feel our way into the pose on the left side. Inhale, we're going to sweep, bring the arms up, tailbone pointing down, palms together or facing, looking up if you can and gently back, or forwards if that's more comfortable. Hold for 3 more deep breaths. Now when you're ready, use that last inhalation to carefully allow you the time to exhale fully and come back onto the knees and sit back. Quite a lot of deep spinal work in that pose, so let's hang out in pose of child just for 1 or 2 minutes to rest the spine fully before we move into the last 4 poses we're going to do today. And again, grab some water if you need to. So with this pose, I go back to using a block, cushion or pillow for underneath the forehead. It's important that your forehead is supported. Now, with this pose, what we're going to do is keep the knees together or just slightly apart, just a couple of centimetres, but pretty much knees are together for this one. Block again for our head. Arms coming forwards or soften the elbows. And hold this, yogis, for 5 breaths, okay? Give yourself a little bit of time to just react. We're 3/4 of the way through. Just another moment to step into your spine and to bring the awareness back to breathing. So enjoy. Balasana, pose of the child. Forehead on the block. Hips again. We'll just open the knees slightly, reaching those arms forwards and resting the forehead on a block or the ground. Take 1 more deep breath in and out here, yogis, in your own time. And then again, just coming up slowly after that lovely stretch and breath work into the spine. And remove the block. And we're going to sit forwards. And what we're going to do is have, again, something underneath the buttocks. So you can sit on a block if you wish to, or simply sit on your mat, peel away the flesh from the buttocks. Legs are extended. And we're going to bend the right knee and bring the sole of the right foot as high up to the inner left thigh as we can. And again, you may want some extra padding, by all means, underneath the right knee for support. We're going to lengthen the arms up and gaze ahead as we sit tall. And we're going to exhale and fold over this leg. Doesn't matter where we get to. We may be holding on to the knee or just below or further down towards the ankle and foot and toes. But it's not about where you get to. It's just about going to where you can. Try and keep the shoulders square here, yogis. Square to the ground. And then holding on to the leg or foot. Releasing down. Hold for 4 breaths if you can. 4 slow breaths. Be mindful of what's going on in that bent knee and hip. And as you lengthen forwards, make sure your spine feels comfortable with that lengthening and stretching. Relax the shoulders. Do aim, if you can, for 2 more deep breaths here. One more full breath, yogis, if comfortable. And then slowly take an inhalation, raise the arms fully, and use that exhalation just to come up and pause. And then take a hand lovingly and carefully underneath the bent knee and just bring it back into the body firstly before you straighten. Well done, yogis. Now we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to just profile myself to the other side so you can see the pose in its entirety. So we begin again with legs straight. Now let's be mindful that this side may feel quite different. And again, it's a little journey to explore that. So we're going to find out how the left side feels now. So bend the left knee. Do have something underneath the left knee if you need to. And I would recommend a small cushion, it's very comfortable. The sole of the left foot, of course, coming as high to the inner right thigh as it can. And what I should have said earlier, but it's worth mentioning, is to flex the toes of the opposite foot so we don't let the foot fall out and go to sleep. It's switched on. So flexing the toes of the right foot towards you, activate the stretch in that leg as well as the bent knee. And again, just taking care of your knees, lengthening up. Exhale to fold forwards to wherever you can, being mindful that this side may feel quite different. The left side, elbows, shoulders bent, relaxed, elbows bent, shoulders relaxed, holding onto the right leg. And again, just folding down as far as you comfortably can for up to 4 deep breaths. It doesn't matter how far you come, remember, yogis. The journey, not the destination, is key. And as you hold, just observing without judgment the difference in the left and the right side of your body as you fold forwards, stretching your spine, stretching the back of the right leg, opening the left knee and hip joint, and lengthening the entire back surface of your body. An awful lot going on in this pose, and I think that's the beauty of it. There's so many benefits when we do this, but it is strong. So just staying for 1 or 2 more deep breaths if you can. Breathe deep, yogis. Keep switching on that lovely long exhalations to help ground the energy downwards. The breath work encourages the energy downwards, but equally it allows tension to unfold and tightness to dissolve. Okay, let's inhale together now. Coming up slowly, raising the arms. Exhale, take a hand underneath the bent knee. Draw it in slowly and carefully release. Now just sit back for a moment from that. Just zigzag, flick the legs in and out, zigzagging them in and out. Give them a little shake, but lean into the arms and give yourself a moment quietly to absorb the loveliness of the pose, that moment of just coming back. Often we can feel quieter when we come out of those poses, which are known as inversions. When we fold forwards with our body, it naturally is said to calm and center us. So notice if you feel a little quieter, perhaps your thoughts less busy. Take a deep breath in and observe as you breathe out. And then release the hands, give them a shake again if you need to. And remove your cushions, yogis. And we're going to go into pretty much our first twist. So this is a lovely twist. We're going to do it seated. And it's great, we've got about 12 minutes to go. So we're kind of just doing this really nicely. We're doing a nice pace today. So I'm just going to turn around because it's the right knee that we're going to bend. So bending your right knee and leaving your left leg extended. And what we'll do very gently is take that left arm forwards, we stretch it forwards so that it can wrap around the outside of the right knee. Don't switch that left foot off, flex the toes towards you. And then very carefully take the right arm behind you, it almost forms a tripod, and then just draw it in towards your body. And by all means sit on a blanket, a folded blanket in this twist if you wish to. Well, let's lengthen forwards first, and then exhale, looking somewhere gently over the right shoulder. And I'd like you to hold that for 4 slow breaths if you can. Every time we exhale, think about sending the energy downwards into the feet and legs. Keeping the spine tall as you look somewhere over your right shoulder, twisting to your right. And don't be tempted to strain the neck, thinking you've got to twist even further. You don't. The twist comes from belly, chest, and finally the neck when we twist. So the neck is the very last thing that you move. That's it. Okay, let's take a deep breath in and out together if you're still in the twist. And then join me in breathing in deeply. And exhale as you come back to the center. And then relax. And release the leg. Give them a shake. And we're going to do the left side now. So very gently, turning round. You're going to leave the right leg extended and carefully bend your left knee with me now, yogis. And again, sitting tall. And just extend the right arm forwards. Get as much stretch and length there as you can. Wrap it around the outside of your left leg so that your left arm is free to go behind you. Draw it in towards your waist and your spine. Sitting tall, looking forwards. And then we'll use the next exhalation to twist gently, looking somewhere over the left shoulder now. Flex the toes of the right foot again. Don't switch that leg off. And join me in taking 4 slow breaths here. Now I'm going to inhale softly. I'm going to use the next exhalation to turn back to the center, coming out of the twist. And carefully release the leg down. And then again, let's just sit back for a moment in straight arms and just roll the feet in and out. Just relax them, give them a little shake. Again, give yourself a moment to feel the benefits as you come out of the twist. And another opportunity to breathe in and breathe out. Excellent. Twists are great for really wringing out the tension in the spine, and particularly again if you have back issues, twists are fantastic for the metabolic region as well. So they're great for digestive system, low back pain they can help with, and the elimination process. Now, we've got 2 more poses to do and then we'll have a relaxation. Remember, if you're tired and you'd rather skip these poses and just go into a relaxation now, go for it. Do as much or as little of this as you wish to. We have 2 more poses to enjoy and then we'll relax. So let's extend the legs again, just peel away the flesh from the buttocks. So again, you're very much sitting on your sit bones. Both legs extended, yogis, in front of us. Feet together if they can be. And we're going to fold forwards. We're going to go back into the back of the body, as it were, the back surface of our body. Now this is called a seated forward bend. And we're just going to start with the legs extended, inner legs and feet touching, as I say. We're going to inhale and lengthen up firstly. And then we're going to exhale and reach forwards. And either grab your ankles, your shins, or your feet with both hands. We're going to exhale and just attempt to fold over the legs, being sure to extend from your hips, okay? And we want to keep our torso elongated, okay? So we're extending forwards from the hips and keeping the torso elongated. And we're going to hang out here, whatever you're holding on to, shin, ankle, or feet, for 5 slow breaths. Enjoy. Your intention is to breathe. Let's go. Remember, these poses today I picked are good for restoring energy. They're also good for stretching our back, our hips, and our hamstrings. Releasing tension, helping you to find stillness. The end of a maybe hectic couple of weeks. helping with deep breath work to revive your spirit. Now, if it's comfortable, but only if it's comfortable, staying for another 4 slow breaths. Okay, yogis, so when you're ready, we're going to inhale together, raise the arms slowly. Exhale, take them behind you again. And once more, just sit back into straight arms. Allow yourself a moment just to breathe and observe any sensations. Notice again, the pose has made you feel a little quieter and calmer. Okay, and release and just relax. Our last pose before we go into relaxation is again an option, and it is a pose I often like to finish on because again it's said about restoring energy. So it's a nice little boost. It's going to give you energy rather than sort of give you a quick fired energy. It's said to be a sort of energetic pose that filters out and seeps out to benefit you for the rest of the day. But if you're tired, by all means, now go into relaxation if you wish to by lying down, or again join us for the last pose if you wish to. And that's going to be Setu Bandhasana, which is pose of bridge or bridge pose. And we're going to add a little shoulder opener to this one today. So let's lie down and just hug the knees in for a moment and rock. Great little supported pose for your spine. And then when you're ready, allow your feet to drop towards the floor. Keep your knees and feet, yogis, if you can, hip width apart. Press your hands into the floor by the side of your body. Chin, just tuck that in as well. Let's just enjoy a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Feeling all of the support coming from the floor. Okay, when we next breathe in, we're going to start to actively press our hands and the backs of the hands into the floor. And as we exhale, we're going to start to lift the hips very slowly off the floor towards the ceiling. Raising your hips nice and slowly, pressing the backs of the hands and the arms into the floor. Try not to move the knees if you can help it. Feet remain firm. Rising up slowly. Now when you come as far as you can, grab hold of the hands if you can underneath, clasp the hands together and gently pull them down towards your feet to help open up your shoulders. We're going to hang out here for between 3 and 5 deep breaths if comfortable. If that's too strong, remember to please come down and rest when you need to. Breathing and holding, pulling the hands down towards the floor will open up the shoulders quite nicely, but it's quite strong. So again, take care. Let the chest open. Let your breath be deep and even, yogis. That's it. 1 or 2 more deep breaths here. If comfortable, if it isn't, remember to come down and rest. Now, when you're ready, release the hands, press the palms into the floor, and start to slowly lower the hips back down. Imagine peeling your spine slowly back on the mat, all the way down, chin tucked in. Now draw the elbows in and rock. That's it. Hug the knees back into the chest. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Just let the body breathe. That's it. Breathe into your spine. Let the whole back feel the support of the floor. And then let's go straight into relaxation now, yogis. So if you need a blanket cover underneath the head, now's the time to just grab that. We're just going to have a minute or two here. So as you lie down, you can extend the legs or keep the knees bent if you prefer, palms facing the ceiling. Just give yourself a moment here to close your eyes, tuck the chin in, arms away from the body with the palms facing uppermost. And simply take 8 slow breaths to allow the body to rest, to allow the breath to soften and release. Let your spirit soar. Let your body nourish and rest. And just enjoy the stillness of the body, the breath returning to normal, the spirit revived. Take a moment to notice how you now feel as you rest after your practice. And don't rush to get up, just enjoy a few more deep breaths here. Let the breath have a little longer if it can. Let your control of the breath loosen now. Just simply let the breath come in and out of the body without the sense of you controlling it. Just allow the whole body a little longer to be quiet and still. Now, I want you to feel free to carry on with this relaxation for as long as you feel you need to, particularly if it's feeling good and right to want to stay a little longer in relaxation. Please give yourself permission to do so. I'm gently going to move my fingers and toes and start to stretch my arms and legs now, slowly coming back. Slowly just tuning into the sensations and sounds around me. Opening my eyes, hugging my knees in, and just rolling, coming up to sitting. But again, if you prefer to stay in relaxation for a little longer, please do so. But when you've come up, for those that are, just give yourself a moment to sit quietly again and take a moment to observe how you now feel compared to when we started. Our practice today was about recharging us, nourishing ourselves and shedding some of the tension and stress. So just take a moment to observe, how do I now feel? And very slowly we're going to raise the arms, bring the palms together and just take a moment to thank your body, thank it for all it's enabled you to do today. Wish yourself well. Wish all beings well, and may you go well. Om Shanti Peace.